and contentment. Time passed. His knowledge expanded. He discovered that the creature he came to think of as caregiver was gigantic compared to him. When he nestled in her fur, he would glance up at her face and marvel at how high above him it was. Sometimes, when playing with his den mates, he would scamper completely around her, and it always seemed to take an eternity. That was the other discovery he made. He was not the only small one there. Two others shared his world. Like him in every respect, except that they were both bigger than he was. A lot bigger, which was why he came to think of himself as Runt. One was a brother who loved to pounce on him and swat him about and nip at his neck with sharp teeth that hurt terribly. In his mind, his brother became mean and would always be mean. The other den mate was a she, like the caregiver. She treated him much more nicely and would often snuggle against him when they slept. He liked playing with her because she was never rough and never bit too hard. He always thought of her as nice. They played, they fed, they slept. Life was good, except for the bullying of mean, and Runt would have been content to stay there forever. He was conscious of growing and of hair sprouting over his body. His vision improved, but neither his eyes nor his ears could compete with the excellence of his nose. With his eyes closed, Runt could identify caregiver and his siblings by how they smelled. Their scents, the odor of their earthen home, of the milk he relished, were all indelibly impressed on his mind. Runt learned that he had sharp teeth, just like Mean, that he had 4 limbs, each capped with hard claws, that when Mean became too rough, it was best to place himself with his back to a dirt wall, so Mean could not come at him from behind. Fear was alien to Runt, until the day caregiver disappeared. A full belly had lulled him to sleep enfolded in the furry mantle of her body. But when he woke up, he was lying in the dirt with only his den mates at his side. Lifting his head, he mewed to attract her attention. That always brought an answering grunt, but not this time. Nor did her tongue descend to wash him, as was her wont. Mewing louder, he scoured the confines of their den, but caregiver was gone. Panic set in. Runt rose and bleated in alarm, inciting Mean and Nice to do the same. They were shocked. They had never conceived of a time when caregiver would not be there for them. In his anxiety, he ran wildly about, frantically questing with his nose for the scent of the being who meant everything to him. Suddenly the wall seemed to open before him, and he was in a part of his world he had never been in before. A part much like their den, only not as high or as wide. Ahead was something new, something so remarkable he momentarily forgot about the missing caregiver. It was light, a circle of bright light that hurt his eyes to gaze upon. Stopping short, he felt the hairs on his neck rise. Intuitively, he divined that the light posed a danger, that if he were to go out into it, a terrible fate would befall him. Mean brushed past him, moving toward the brightness, and might have gone all the way had the light not abruptly been blotted out by an enormous bulk. Caregiver had returned. She shambled past, something dangling from her mouth. As she went by, Runt caught a new scent that sent a tingle through his whole body. A liquid that was like milk and yet not like milk spattered the ground. It was red, not white. When he licked a few drops, he discovered it had a delicious